Hey, we're away. So again, apologies, but I think that's the sort of thing that's going to happen now and again in lockdown, guys. We're just going to have to put up with it. So what we're going to do today, there's going to be a very quick bit of teaching, okay, which is going to be recorded. There's just a few questions on Dr. Frost's maths, not very many, just a few. I should think it will take you about 10 minutes. And that may be that's all we have time for today because of the slow start. If we have the opportunity, then we will do some spin the wheel at the end of the lesson. So as always, the whole lesson will be live. The teaching bit will be recorded. Once that's finished, I will still be here to support you doing the questions, but obviously at that point it won't be recorded. So that's the plan. So if you could just stay muted, please. Theo, that would be good. So that's the title, guys. So if you could just copy this down, please. Today, we're going to be estimating some square and some cube roots. Okay, yesterday we were actually working out some ones because they were whole numbers. Today we are going to be estimating. So you may be wanting to write this down, you may be choosing not to, that's up to you. So what is the square root of 16? This is what we were doing yesterday. What number times itself is 16? That is 4, because 4 times 4 is 16. So there's a bit of a lag, but you see that 4 coming through, good. And similarly, what is the square root of 9? Okay, well, the square root of 9 is 3. So that's what we did yesterday, because 3 3s are 9. Now, what can we say about the square root of 11? Now, we don't know what it is, okay? We'd need to have a calculator work it out exactly, because it's going to be a decimal. But because 11 is between 9 and 16, because 11 is between 9 and 16, we know the square root of 11 must be somewhere between 3 and 4. And that's all we're going to be doing today. We're just estimating what the square root is. So I don't know what the square root of 11 is, but what I can tell you is that it's definitely between 3 and 4. So moving on to the next question. What do we know about the square root of 30? Well, we know that these 5 5s are 25, so we know the square root of 25 is 5, and we know the square root of 36 is 6. So what do we know about the square root of 30? Well, because 30 is between 25 and 36, the square root of 30 must be somewhere between 5 and 6. Okay, now I don't think we've got any that are this difficult in the few questions you're going to be doing, but if we were working out the cube root, okay, well, the cube root of 24. Remember what the cube root was? It's the number times itself times itself. The cube root of 24 is 3, because 3 times 3 times 3, 3 3s and not. Sorry, I meant to say 27, not 24. The square root of 27 is 3, because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So the cube root of 27 is 3. And we also know the cube root of 64 is 4, because 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So the cube root of 30, as it's between 27 and 64, is going to be somewhere between 3 and 4. And would actually be much closer to 3, wouldn't it? Be much closer to 3. So that's it on the teaching, guys. If you wouldn't mind just going and just doing the 3 or 4 or 5 questions that are on Dr. Frost's maths in a minute, well now please, that would be great. I will go and stop the recording. Once I've stopped the recording, you're welcome to switch your TV, your cameras back on, and you're welcome to unmute if you want to ask me anything. But please don't do that until I've just stopped the recording going. I'm keen that when I do the recording, that isn't showing anybody's face apart from mine. So I've just